Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by our friends at NHash Cloud Mining. They are an incredible company, super cool, and they make cryptocurrency mining an easy, smart, and rewarding experience for everybody involved. NHash has emerged onto the scene as one of the top-tier crypto mining platforms. They have tons of experience. They offer computing power, so you can mine Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and more. Highly recommend them. They are incredible. They also offer some of the most affordable pricing in the business, as users can join for as low as $70 and zero maintenance fees, and you can get upwards of 4 and 5-digit returns. It is truly a treat. There's also a referral code. You share that with friends and family. You can multiply your gains and expand your network. They are also offering a $30 coupon and a $5 bonus for joining. That is NHash, and these guys are legit the best way to join the crypto mining revolution. Head on over to nhash.io. That is NHASH.io, nhash.io, and give them a shot. Highly recommend it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is a cold wallet magician and a crypto guru. He's currently living in the land of love, good wine, and fresh baguettes in lovely Paris, France, one of my favorite cities in the world. Present day, you can find him as the lead project manager at Ledger Live. I'm very pleased to welcome to the Crypto News Podcast, Benjamin Arama. Benjamin, welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, thank you very much for this intro, and thank you for having me. Forgot one thing in the intro is the cheese. France doesn't live without cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, France is love, baguette, wine, and cheese.
The absolute best. You guys have, the quality of life there, just bananas. I was there, I want to say 2-3 years ago. And just again, like growing up in Toronto, you buy a bottle of Bordeaux here, it's, 50, 60 Canadian, and it's €5 in France. And then the cheese, the baguettes in the morning, and the pastries. Oh my goodness. What's your go-to crypto dining spot? Any go-tos in Paris?
Well, a lot of spots in Paris. That's hard. That's a tricky question because I have a full list of 200 restaurants that I would love to go to in Paris. I have a small Italian restaurant, that is not very well known, but it's excellent. It's called, Tavola Sardegna. It's, Sardegna a Tavola. It's, from a small Italian island, and they have like the best pastas you're gonna have. So yeah, that's maybe my go-to restaurant.
I love that, the good life.
And yeah, French guy that do publicity for Italian food. I know that's not normal, but we love Italian food.
I know, it's hard not to. Ben, really appreciate you jumping on this podcast. It means a lot, and I know you are going on a little vacation to Mexico next week. Much deserved. That is absolutely incredible. And hopefully we'll see you in Miami a couple weeks later at the Bitcoin conference. You going to be there?
No, I won't be there, but we might have some people from the company that's going to join. It's not certain, but yeah, with the pandemic, it's really hard to make sure that we are going to have someone there, since we have like the American borders are close to the French people normally. So it's hard to make sure that we're going to be there.
Right. Very well. Good point there. Very well said. Before we get into the bread and butter being Ledger and Ledger Live, and very excited for this one, as everyone and their cousins does use a ledger indeed, but tell our guests how you got into the crypto space.
So, was like in 2016, I was looking for an investment. I did a bit of like usual trading on the stock market, and I was looking into gold and silver, and was like, yeah, that's kind of the profit is a bit meh. And I was looking for something new. And I've read an article about a guy, I think he was a Norwegian guy, something like that, that did his thesis in 2011 or something like that, about Bitcoin. And he did his thesis, forgot about the Bitcoin, and a few years later he heard about like the fact that Bitcoin was $1,000. Yeah, and at the time it was $1,000. It's like, yeah, I did my thesis for that, and I bought some Bitcoin. And he came back, he found back his hard drive and saw that he had like $800,000 on the hard drive worth of Bitcoin with a very, very small investment. I was like, yeah, that's the kind of investment I want. So yeah, greed made me come to crypto. So I had a look at Bitcoin, and then I had a look. I was like, yeah, okay, that's a bit expensive. And yeah, again, $1,000. I thought that was expensive at the time. So that's not expensive at all. But at the time, for me, I was a bit younger, so it was a bit expensive for me. And I discovered Ethereum. And that's how I got into crypto. I discovered everything that you could do with Ethereum. I really thought it was like a kind of revolution. And that's how I got interested into crypto. I spent like a few months looking at everything around crypto, and I did my first investment into Ethereum. And that's how it began. And then at some point, I bought a Ledger. And I was a customer before being an employee of Ledger. The day I discovered that there was an opening for the product manager or a position for Ledger Live, I was like, there is not many products that you use that you can be a product manager of. And I applied, and well, here I am today.
And the rest is history. It's funny how you brought up the greed part, fear and greed, mover of mountains. And that's how a lot of people got into the crypto industry. So I'm not surprised. That's how I got in. And that's how most people got in. You see an opportunity to really pad your pockets and grow your wallet, tenfold. So why wouldn't you? And then of course there's the other aspects of transforming an industry and really trailblazing the new world. But let's get into Ledger and Ledger Live. My first question, and when we asked a couple of our friends on Twitter, what questions would you like to ask Ben? The most common one was, what is the difference between Ledger and Ledger Live? I think that's a great way to kick off this conversation.
So first, Ledger is the company. Ledger is the company, and in this company, we have two main businesses. We have the B2C, where we sell our hardware wallets, and we have the software, which is Ledger Live. Those are the main parts. We have other parts within it, but those are the main parts of the B2C. And on the other side, we also have a B2B division, where we sell the product that is called Ledger Vault, which is kind of the same than a hardware wallet, but is aimed for institutionals and more like companies. So Ledger as a whole, that's what it is. Then if I understand well the question, we are going to focus on the B2C because that's a bit more my specialty. But Ledger sells hardware wallets. So the Ledger Nano, S, and X are the hardware wallets that are sold by Ledger. And in those hardware wallets, you secure the seed. The seed is the secret that's going to let you sign transaction on the blockchain. And you can use the hardware wallet with Ledger Live, which I recommend. But if you don't like Ledger Live, which is a surprise for me, or maybe a disappointment for me, but in that I didn't do my job well, you can still use the Nano with platforms that are compatible with it. So Ledger hardware wallet is where you secure when you do the security, when you secure the secret, the seed. And the Live is the platform where you're going to be able to manage assets, and you're going to be able also to manage your device. You're going to be also able to do some exchanges, to buy, to sell, stake, lend, all the features that we integrated in the past few years in Ledger Live. That's more the asset management part. So on one side, you have security, and on the other side, asset management that are secured by the device.
So if I was a crypto newbie and I was just getting into the space, you have the hot part with Ledger Live, you have the cold part with the Ledger wallet, which is the bread and butter, of course. What else do you need? Walk me through this as if I'm a 5-year-old and I'm just coming into the crypto space. I obviously need a fiat to crypto onboarding ramp. Can I do that in Ledger Live? Yeah.
So maybe to make it a bit more clear, you can't use Ledger Live without hardware wallet. We want to make sure that you have the best security on the market. And the only way to secure your assets on crypto is with the hardware wallet. So if you're a beginner and you're interested into crypto and you want to enter crypto, you're going to have to buy a hardware wallet. You receive the hardware wallet, you download Ledger Live, you follow the onboarding to do the configuration. And then once you're done, then you're going to be able to buy crypto within Ledger Live, and it's going to be secured directly by your Nano. So, of course, the assets aren't going to be on the hardware wallet. The assets are on the blockchain, but the Nano is going to be the hardware wallet is going to be the only way to do a transaction on the blockchain. If you don't have the seed, then you can't do a transaction. So if no one else has the seed, then no one else than you can do the transaction.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Thank you for that. Thank you for that intro there. So on Ledger Live, there are tons of really cool features, and you can safely send and receive, I believe it's 27 coins and over 1,500 tokens directly with your smartphone or desktop using Ledger Live. Very simple. You onboard, do the quick KYC, and you're dancing. Tell me, what are the next steps for Ledger Live? What do you have in the pipeline? And what are the things that customers have asked for the most that you guys can deliver?
So what we are working on is provide more services to our users. We know that our users appreciate our services, but they want more. They want more providers. They want to be able to buy more different assets, to manage more different assets. So what we are going to do next is that we are going to change the way we do integration within Ledger Live, and it's going to be quicker to integrate more partners and to integrate more features. So that's the first big step that's going to arrive. And we are going to work also on DeFi because we think that it's very important. And we are going to work on NFTs also because that's a big trend currently. So it's going to be a mix between what is the trend right now, what is the future of crypto, but also what our users told us. So those are the big integrations. We are also going to bring very soon our features to more markets because we know that, for example, the swap isn't available in the US, which is a big problem because a lot of our users are in this region. And we are going to have also, we are going to improve the buy feature also for the American users, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, a lot of new things that are going to come. And that's going to arrive very soon.
You brought up NFTs. A lot of people have asked, what does the future of storing NFTs look like? Right now, most people, whether that's OpenSea, Rarible, it's really tough to decide where you want to buy, store, and keep your NFTs within a central ecosystem. There's a lot of cool projects coming out right now that are really trying to tackle this problem, as it is definitely a huge one that a lot of people have. How is Ledger Live handling this, or Ledger? How are both of you guys handling the NFT storage and ecosystem aspect?
So we hired very recently someone called Parker Brooks, and he's going to be in charge. He's the VP of NFTs at Ledger, and he's right now working on our strategy in order to have the best NFT integration at Ledger, but also in Ledger Live. So we are still thinking about how we are going to do the integration. I can't really reveal how it's going to be done because it's still work in progress. But you can make sure that we are not going to forget it, and that's going to be something that's going to be at the heart of Ledger strategy. What I can tell you is that it's very important to be able to claim the ownership of your NFTs and to secure them with a hardware wallet. The same way you secure your crypto with a hardware wallet, you have to be able to secure your NFTs with your hardware wallet. That's something that is very important. And when you buy, let's say, an NFT on Sorare or OpenSea or any other platform that sells NFT, you have to secure them on your hardware wallet. The bad thing right now, and I'll be honest, is that you are not able to see your NFTs on Ledger Live. But that's work in progress too.
Love that. That's a tough one. Speaking of, actually, quickly, DeFi. You also brought up DeFi. Does Ledger Live have any plans to allow the users to stake and earn some interest, wrap up that APY, excuse me? Is that in the books?
So for the staking, we already give the possibility to our users to do staking on Tron, on Cosmos, on Algorand, and on Tezos. I think I'm not, and Polkadot. So I think I'm not missing any of those assets where we support the staking. So staking is already available on the Live. On the lending side, you're able to lend stable coins through a compound smart contract within Ledger Live. But that's just the beginning, and way more is going to come soon. And I can't reveal what, but you won't have to be very patient to see what's going to happen. It's going to rise very, very quickly, and you're going to be able to have a very good insight of what's going to be the future of Ledger Live.
You can't give me any tips? Nothing?
I'm not allowed to, and I'm really sorry about that. I would have loved to be able to talk about it, but you're going to be able to see that very, very soon.
Okay, amazing. So that covers the NFTs and DeFi aspect, which a lot of people are really intrigued by at the moment. You also talked about seeing the NFTs, the vision of the NFTs. I want to talk about the next steps of the physical wallet, which, again, has a lot of room to grow. It is the creme de la creme right now. I believe it is the most popular hardware wallet in the world. But when are users going to be able to include some bells and whistles, maybe some different color schemes, some add-ons, some toys to go with it, you name it, perhaps a touch screen? Talk to me about that. What's in the pipeline for all of that?
Again, that's something that's going to be hard to talk about because there are a lot of secrets and we don't talk about what we are working on. But I can tell you that we are working on very, very exciting stuff and very cool stuff. And there's going to be new hardware wallets, and you can make sure that's going to happen. But I can't tell you more.
Okay, no worries. Appreciate the candor. In regards to storage best practices, you go online, you can Google this. Experts will tell you many, many different things. From inception, from when someone finally buys and onboards some fiat to crypto, grabs some crypto, stores it via Ledger Live, also has the Ledger wallet, then starts to trade, starts to accumulate a nice looking bag. The bag grows and grows. What are the best practices? I know this is a very contextual question, but what are the best practices for a rookie getting into the space to store, trade, and manage the crypto assets within the Ledger ecosystem?
So when you buy a hardware wallet, and especially a Ledger hardware wallet, you're going to have, when you do the configuration and the onboarding of your device, you're going to have to write down 24 words. Those 24 words are the representation of your seed, and that's the secret that gives the access to your assets. You have to make sure that you and only you have access to those 24 words. If you lose them, if you give them to someone, if you take a picture of it, if you write down the 24 words on your phone, consider that you've been hacked already. There is a reason why the 24 words and the seed are in the hardware wallet. It's because it's offline and that it's secured in a secure element. If you take the 24 words and put them on your phone, well, basically you completely ruined the whole interest of having a hardware wallet. So my big advice is that when you do the configuration of your hardware wallet and write down those 24 words, do it in a calm environment when you're all alone, when you have all the time. Don't do that in the subway or between like two meetings. Don't do that because you're going to be in a hurry and you're going to do a mistake. So write down carefully those 24 words and find a place where you can hide those, because if someone finds them, well, this person is going to have access to your crypto. And also you have to be careful, because if your house burns down, for example, and that the nano and the 24 word burns down, well, you don't have access to your crypto anymore. So you have to be very careful with that. Then once you have the basic knowledge about this kind of security, then you have to do trading. And of course, right now you can do some exchanges within Ledger Live, within the live environment. You can do unwrap within the Ledger environment. But if you want to experience trading, because, well, that's normal. You want to discover new stuff. You want to do some tradings that you can do within the Ledger environment. That happens, and I totally agree with that. Then you have to find a good exchange, an exchange that you can trust. You're going to send your assets from Ledger Live to this exchange. You're going to do this trading. But if you have a big bag and if there is money that you're not going to touch soon, then my advice is to send those assets back to the hardware wallet, so that if there is an issue with the exchange, then you're safe. Because let's say, for example, that the exchange has an issue in terms of regulation, that you don't have access to your assets anymore because of this new regulation, or if the exchange get hacked, and your money is lost. So you have to make sure that the assets that you're not going to play with on the market, you should secure them on the hardware wallet. So that would be, in short, my advices for someone that is new in crypto and that would like to play with their assets. You can do whatever you want with them. And I'll be honest, I have some assets on the hardware wallet and some assets on exchanges, but everything that is on the exchange is the hot part. Everything that is cold that I don't plan to touch, it's on the cold part.
What about cold storage practices? Do you recommend hiding it in a safe? Do you tuck it away in a drawer? You throw it under the bed? Do you hire some company to make a secret, back library door kind of thing, push the wall and boom, you're in a whole separate room? Like, how do you go about doing that?
For myself, that's going to be complicated because I test a lot of hardware wallets. So I have like plenty of them. So it's going to be hard to hide them. So I'm not the best example, but for someone that would be more regular, I'd say there is no big risk of having a hardware wallet that is visible to everyone. I mean, of course, it means that you're going to yell a bit that you have crypto and someone's going to tell you, okay, give me your PIN code or I'm going to kill you. That's the worst case scenario. Yeah, so you don't have to be paranoid about it because otherwise you'll never sleep. But just like put it in a drawer and just like forget about it. Just get it out when you need it and when you need to do a transaction. But otherwise, I don't think you need to be paranoid. The only thing that you have to be kind of paranoid with is the 24 words. You have to hide it really well and you have to put it in a safe environment. And if you want to make it safer, if you're afraid of floods or if you're afraid of fire, well, we sell the crypto steel on the Ledger website, and you can put your 24 words into steel where you can put your 24 words, and that's going to be fire and flood resistant. So with that, you can make sure that at least it's safe from elements. After that, you have to hide it well because it has to be safe also from being stolen.
Does Ledger have a program that enables the user to recover their seed phrase or a sort of a backdoor route into the Ledger ecosystem if they lose their seed phrase or if they lose their wallet or any of the like?
No, we don't have the end on the assets of the user at all. I don't know what the user has. I don't know who they are. I don't know their name. I don't know anything about them. And Ledger company isn't a custodian. We don't have any access to the assets of the user. The users are the only one to have the access to their assets. A good example, a good comparison that can be done is that in regular life, I sell you a wallet, like the one where you put your notes in. When I sell you the wallet, and I don't have the access to the notes that you're going to put in it anymore. I mean, you left with the wallet, and then you put the notes in it, and I don't have access to those notes. Well, that's kind of the same, except that you don't put notes because the notes are on the blockchain, but it's kind of the same. We don't have access to those assets. We don't have access at all to the seed. The seed is only on the hardware wallet and nowhere else. So it's offline basically, and we don't have access to it. And if you come to us and you tell us, okay, well, here is my nano. I forgot my PIN code. I need to get my access to my seed back. Do something for me. We're going to tell you, well, no, there is nothing we can do. I'm sorry about that, but there is nothing we can do for you. It's secured on a secure element. So yeah, we can't help you for that. That's the kind of thing that you have to know with hardware wallets is that you become your own banker. You have the ownership. You gain financial freedom, but you have also to make sure that you understand that you have the responsibility of the banker. You are the banker, so you have kind of the responsibilities of the banker. So freedom comes with a responsibility.
Very well said there. There is a certain price to pay, and it's better to not gamble. Speaking of gambling, this episode and all episodes are brought to you by our friends at CoinPoker, the world's premier crypto poker platform. I use these guys all the time. I'm not playing poker too much anymore, not enough hours in the day, but placing a cheeky sports bet every once in a while is definitely part of the program. And CoinPoker is a revolutionary blockchain technology-based platform that was developed by an ambitious team of poker lovers and sports gamblers. CoinPoker uses USDT stablecoin as the main in-game currency and CHP as in-game fuel, offering tons of benefits for everyone who joins. There are also instant and secure transactions using USDT, Ethereum, Bitcoin, CHP, and my favorite part is no KYC. You log on, takes about 5 minutes, and you are dancing, you're ready to go. There's huge promotions thousands in giveaways every single week, thousands in fiat, that is. And again, CHP is the currency of CoinPoker. Tons of exclusive benefits, future developments right to the community, and there's the mobile app. So whenever I'm on the go and I want to get a quick hand of Texas in or bet on a sports game, that is the place to be. That is at coinpoker.com. And we love them and very grateful for them sponsoring our show. Ben, jumping right back into it here, one of the things I do want to discuss, and I know that not the elephant in the room per se, because you guys have done such a great job, but there was the Ledger data leak, and I know a significant amount of people were affected by this, but the amazing thing is how you and the team have rectified the situation and how almost everyone within the industry still uses the Ledger wallet for their crypto. This obviously shows a lot about your brand, the brand loyalty, and how much people do love the product. I'd love if you can just sort of walk me through how you guys rectified the situation.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the most qualified one to talk about the data leak that happened at Ledger. I don't work at all on the e-commerce part where the data leak happened. What I can tell you is that none of the data of Ledger Live has leaked at all. We are very careful about privacy on Ledger Live. And I'll be honest, as a product manager, that's kind of an issue for me because I don't have much data about my users. I know how many devices connect to the live every day, but I don't know who those people are. I don't have any login. I don't have any email address. I don't have they don't give me any personal information. The only place where you can give personal information is during the KYC for the fiat on ramp. But this data doesn't even go to Ledger Live. It goes straight to our partner, and we don't even see this data. So we are very, very privacy focused on Ledger Live. If there is something that leaks from Ledger Live, that's going to be something that is that doesn't mean anything, and we may make sure that the leak is not going to happen at all. We learned our lessons on the topic. But yeah, the data on the live is something that is very sensitive, and now we have a policy that says basically on the live at least, if it's an issue in terms of privacy, then we don't do it. If it has an impact on the privacy of the user, then we don't do it. So there's always going to be the possibility for the user to use Ledger Live without identifying himself. After that, of course, there might be some identification needed in some countries. That's something that we can do nothing about because the regulation evolves. But in the end, on our side, on the live side, we don't know much about our users, and we tend to continue like that.
Very well said, and I appreciate you answering that question. Ledger Live has really blown up over the last couple months and years significantly. What is one of the biggest catalysts for growth? And like, what sort of KPIs do you and your team try to track and manage to see how quickly Ledger Live is growing?
Well, first is the number of devices that connect every day to the live. We know that that's something that went through the roof recently. We are very happy about the fact that we have more and more users that come every day to our platform. We also follow the usage of our features, whether they are transactional or not. We follow a lot of the flows of our users in order to see if they understand it well, if there is an issue with it, just to make sure it's well understood. We don't do screen recording, and we don't have heat maps of the behavior of the users because that would be a privacy issue. So just to make it more clear, this is not the kind of thing that we know. We just like, for the users that accept it, we follow the events that happen, and so we know that a user got lost or not within our flow, and so that we can improve this flow. So this is the kind of KPI that we follow. And what else that we can see? In order to grow, what we want to have is that we want to reach for a broader audience. We want to target new countries. We want to give the possibility to countries that don't have the possibility to have a Ledger hardware wallet or to use Ledger Live to be able to do so. So that's one thing that we want to work on.
What's the future of the Ledger ecosystem? Maybe not so much Ledger in general, but what does the future of the cold and hot storage ecosystem look like? Are we going to have cold wallets with crazy touch screens and 3D animations that are extremely customizable? Are we going to have, on-chain platforms like Ledger Live that are, visible in a pair of Oculus glasses through virtual reality? Like in your company's roadmap, what are the next steps and what does that future look like?
Well, we have lots of ideas within the company how the future could be made. It's really hard to define the future of crypto because basically crypto changes every hour. Like every hour that there is a new concept that comes up and you have to adapt. So having the possibility to define what's going to be in more than 1 or 2 years is kind of hard. It's not impossible, and we have plans on our side. Again, I can't really reveal what we are working on for the future, but yeah, there is at some point, I guess that's just a personal opinion, but I guess cold wallets are gonna evolve, and it's gonna be maybe an hybrid between cold and on-chain, something like that. That would be my personal bet, but again, that's just my personal bet. I think on-chain as a crazy future. I think DeFi has a crazy future, and that's really the future of finance. That's something that I'm probably the most sure of. I might be wrong again, but I think, DeFi has the biggest future in crypto.
Nice. Love that. Let's get into a couple of rapid fire questions before we wrap up here, Ben. I'm going to start off with the classic question that I ask, which is now being changed because the original question was, what will happen first, Ethereum at 5K or Bitcoin at 100K? And that's when Bitcoin was hovering around 50 and Ethereum was hovering just under 2. So they almost had those, 100% growth to achieve those goals. Bitcoin is still around 55K, 60K as we speak. And Ethereum is, already at 4. So it's almost a shoo-in, barring any crazy setbacks for Ethereum. However, let's start with Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin hit 100K in 2021?
I'm going to give you just a warning before. I'm a terrible trader, so don't follow my advices. Now, if I had to place a bet, I'd say that's possible. Yes, I'd say yes.
That is rapid fire question numero uno. Number 2, which isn't so much rapid fire, but I'm curious about the crypto scene in Paris. Are there any crazy meetups? Are there any huge organizations, maybe something that everyone follows, like PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, or something of the like, that could incorporate crypto and help really skyrocket that mass adoption? Is there anything like that within the city?
So within the past year, it's been kind of hard because of the pandemic. We had a lot of events that has been canceled. But the crypto scene is growing. We have quite a few events. We have Paris Blockchain Week that's supposed to happen every year. We have ETHCC, which is the biggest French ETH meetup. There is a big Discord that is DeFi France, that is everything about DeFi, where you'll be able to find all the big French companies that work in crypto or DeFi, like Paraswap, and you'll find people from Ledger too. There is a kind of community that is growing. But France isn't the biggest crypto place in the world, let's be honest. There are other places in the world, but it's growing. It's still growing.
Nice. And tell me, who runs the Ledger Twitter account? Whoever he or she is definitely deserves a raise. They have been absolutely tearing it up. The memes are on point all the time. You have the Dogecoin memes, the Elon Musk memes, you name it, it's all there. Who is that?
So, her name is Saman. She's the community manager. And she's in charge. I'll pass the message to her. There is a whole marketing team that is great, that is really, really working hard on giving a new image of the company, changing kind of the way people see Ledger. We have an history of being a security company, and we are still in our DNA a security company, but we want to evolve. And they are working really hard in order to make people understand what's the importance of ownership, of financial freedom, of what the true crypto is, what the true decentralized crypto is. And they try to make it not too seriously, because money is serious, but if you're too serious, then people are going to be bored by you. So yeah, I think they do a great work in order to explain and make crypto a little bit less boring than what finance is.
Love that. Ben, really appreciate your time. This has been an absolute treat, and first Parisian on the show. Love to see that. Tell me, where can our guests find you on social, and where can they find Ledger on socials?
So you can find Ledger on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm pretty sure we are going to work also on TikTok. And you can find me on I'm Ledger Life PM on Reddit. You can also find us on Reddit too. The subreddit for Ledger is Ledger Wallet, I think, if I remember well. And for myself, you can find me on Twitter. I'm not very, very open. I don't talk a lot on Twitter, but you can find me at Ben_Arama. So BEN_ARAMA. And so Twitter and Reddit.
Ben, thank you so much for jumping on. Had a blast, learned a lot. Ledger, one of the, creme de la creme companies of the crypto space. You guys have done such incredible work, and we all love you for that. Folks, this is the Crypto News Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. If you did, it would mean the world if you could give us a subscribe and listen to a couple more. We are releasing episodes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, all in the morning. We drop at around 2 to 3 a.m. EST or EDT, and it is live for our friends on the other side of the world on that same day. And once we wake up in the morning, it is ready to go as well. It's a Crypto News Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and all of the podcast players. Ben, thanks again. Our team, thank you so much. Usas, our amazing sound guy, you're the man. Everyone on the team who helped set up this episode and all other, couldn't do without you guys. Love you guys. Ben, thanks again for coming on. Folks, hope you enjoyed listening.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. It was a treat. And folks, have a great day, and we will keep in touch. All the best. Bye.